Well, we can get to
And
weed because you don't even want to smoke it anymore. You are trying to quit.
I am trying to quit. I still smoke weed. I still smoke weed though.
Well, how is quitting
Um,
going?
Pretty much what I do is I'll quit for like 4 to 7 days. I'll start doing it again, and then I'll quit for like another, like I'm quitting for like a week at a time, and then I'm smoking again, and I'll quit for another week.
But what's the actual goal, to never smoke weed again?
Um, no, that's the reason why I never stop is because I haven't made the goal to never smoke weed again because I
Okay.
don't even, it's not like I'm drinking myself to death. Like,
Right.
it's not cool anymore now that it's legal. But if I'm out with my friends or I'm doing something and somebody wants to smoke weed, like what am I be like, oh no.
So why are
I
you
mean,
trying to
sometimes I
pull
do.
back?
Sometimes I say no.
Why are you trying to pull back on weed?
Um, oh, it makes me so fucking stupid. Like it fucks me up in
No,
every way.
bro, what are you talking about? So many people are gonna be like, "What are you talking about?
No, it makes me stupid. It
You
makes
know
me
how creative
lazy.
I am on weed, bro. It makes me super creative."
No, and I made sure not to smoke weed today because if I had smoked weed even 10 hours ago, I would not be able to talk to you like on this level.
Oh, the weed heads are gonna hate you for saying that one. The
Oh,
weed
I'll stay
heads
consistent with that. Yeah,
are
no,
gonna
I'll smoke weed. I
hate.
bought weed 30 minutes ago, but no, it's not good for you.
I
It's not
mean,
medicine.
I was a fan for a month or so, and then I think I got laced that one time, and it just changed my brain. Like honestly, I think that I don't even know if I did get laced, but I was never. But the times I smoked prior to that, like 4 or 5 times, I have never been that high. It was very scary, and a week went by after that, and I was so depressed. Like my brain was like milked of any, what is it, serotonin, I guess.
No, I'm telling you,
I
same
was
thing for me.
so depressed. I had that thing where you feel like you're not even real. You know what that is? Like what is it called? This, not dysphoria. It's that thing where you feel like you're watching yourself in a movie.
Oh, I know what you're
And Post
saying.
Malone talks about
dissociation.
that. Dissociation. Post Malone talks about that. Like after I smoked that J, bro, it was all downhill. My anxiety went way up. It was a bad year after that. So I
That's
think, and I
crazy.
tried to smoke two or three times after that, and it didn't have the same effect like that day. But my anxiety level would always rise. Like the first couple times I smoked weed, I was mad chill. I was mad calm. I had a lot of fun. I remember it like it was yesterday. Those were good. After that fatal J, it was over. Like any little puff of weed, I would be really anxious. Even smelling weed, I don't even like to smell it right now. It freaks me out. I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm actually not a fan of like the new weed world that we're living in, at least here where I am in New York City. Like
The weed is
it's
different to you.
no, I don't think the weed is different. I think the weed has gotten too strong. It's
That's what
not
I'm saying.
necessary.
Yeah, yeah.
But not even that. Like, you know, and I heard somebody say this the other day, and it's some old man shit to say, but it's also true. Like, back in the day, like, you used to like minimally step to the side when you were smoking weed. Like now, like you can just smoke weed like walking down the street, blowing it in people's
Oh
faces.
God,
No,
yeah.
and I do it too, but it's terrible. I
Yes.
because I remember like recently I was with Tashim and like with somebody else, and we were gonna smoke weed real quick, and we were standing on the sidewalk. We were in like Union Square. And I'm like, you want to just step off to the side a little bit? Because this guy was standing next to his car. I was like, I don't want you to get in trouble. And he's like, dude, what are you talking about? Like he made fun of me. I was like, oh my God, I can't even believe I thought about stepping to the
Going
side a little
in
bit.
the going in the darkness, going in the
Yeah.
corner, like hiding to smoke this weed. Well, I don't
Yeah.
want to be. I don't like that. If it's that, I don't want to be blown in my face like while I'm
I know.
outside.
Yeah. I don't
I hate
appreciate it either.
smelling it all the time.
No. And I'll be the first person to say smoking is cool. Like I love smoking.
No,
I think it
smoking. Yeah,
rocks.
looking like you're smoking anything. It looks cool. Sorry to anybody that says that's a bad message, but that's why people in movies that look cool are smoking. That's why they write it like that. They're smoking. It's a cool look. And I mean, me and Clay, we'll go back and forth on if it's cooler to smoke a cigarette or a cigar. I think it's cooler to smoke a cigar. You think the opposite? I mean, I think it's
context dependent.
it's two different cools. We can agree on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
two different cool. I think when you smoke a cigar, you look more sophisticated, I guess. And I mean, not sophisticated, but you look like you're more about the business. You look more about business. I think we could say that. But there's times where it's not appropriate to whip out a cigar, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is cool though. It is a cool look to smoke, and I do enjoy it, but not all the time. I can't be smoking every day.
I'm getting old. I can't handle it anymore. But this is just turning into me complaining about my health.
You want to talk about speaking? You want to talk about getting old? Listen to this. This is the thought I had the other day. I was looking at tickets to like a show, and I was looking at the general area, and then I saw the balcony. And
I'm already there.
I've
already been there.
I was like, yo, I think I'm at the balcony age. Like the balcony looked good. There was like this year it happened. Every year, probably I'm like, I would never be in the balcony. I want to be diving on somebody's head. I want to be getting smacked around. I want to, feel people's body. I want to be like in the middle of the crowd surge. Nothing sounds more horrible now than being encased in a crowd of sweaty, screaming people and then going, oh, somebody's falling on my head right now. And then somebody next to me is smoking weed.
When you took me to see Rancid.
Yeah, because we did the balcony in Rancid.
Yeah, that was VIP. That was
I was
dope.
not at that age then. I was still very go into the crowd. But the thing is, I didn't know Rancid. We just got those tickets. We just got hooked up. So
yeah. Like after that show, like probably the next show I went to, I got balcony seats.
Wow, you bought them on your own.
Yeah. I was going to see Lamb of God, which I had seen like 3 times already. So I was like, I'm not doing this. I just want to go see them because they're in town and I'm sitting in the balcony.
And I'm sure that's a hard show, like to withstand in the crowd.
Oh, yeah, too much.
But it's like, damn, I'm getting old now. Like that would never even be. I would look at people in the balcony and go, loser. Like unless you're in a wheelchair.
But also the secret is that when you get a balcony seat, nobody is stopping you from walking down into general admission.
Yeah,
you can go down to GA for 10 minutes and then go sit your ass down for the rest of the show.
Right, but you can't do the opposite.
Right.
You could get a balcony seat. That's true. I didn't think of that. You get a balcony seat and then play both sides of the fence. But you can't do it if you get general admission.
Yep.
But I just can't believe like now is the time. Am I like wearing down? It's like now it just doesn't appeal to me to be in that. It's just mostly the crowd. I don't want to be in the people. I don't want to be in that many people. Like I could still, if it was like maybe I don't need to be in the balcony all the time, but I could stand in the back of the crowd, but I don't want to be in the mess anymore. I think that Tech 9 show we went to was like the last one I went to that it was like that. The one we went to like 6 years ago.
I had like a whole rave phase in the last like 2 years.
Oh God, nothing sounds worse than a rave to me. Like, oh my God, everybody's high, everybody's drunk, there's lights everywhere. It's hot.
The variance is so big. There's some raves that I've been to that like I think even you would love.
I don't think so.
Like, it's so hit and miss.
Even the music, I'd be like, stop.
No, because there's shit going on. Like I went to one maybe like last year, and it was a rave, and then there was another room where there was just like tables and art supplies, and you just did arts and crafts like while you were on drugs.
That's cool.
And then it was supposed to end at the end of it with yoga at like 7 a.m. or something like that.
Oh wow!
But then the police came and everybody started leaving, so I left.
Maybe I would like it. And then you said didn't one have like a stick and poke table?
Oh
yeah, you got stick and poke, and that wasn't a rave. That was a bar.
So at House of Yes, they do tattoos frequently, but the one where I got the stick and poke was actually a rock show.
Okay, yeah. I was mistaken, but that sounds cool. Arts and crafts. Everybody's on acid. And I'm just making like a duck.
I told you I went to one where there was a bouncy house.
Oh my God, that must be crazy when you're on like acid.
Well, no, it was fucked up.
What do you think? You're on the moon?
Be multiple bouncy houses, and then like something happened with the venue, so they had to move it to an indoor skate park, and there was just one bouncy house in the center of like a giant half pipe.
Right.
But it's still pretty cool.
Now, when you're on acid or something, you feel like you're on the moon, like you feel like Neil Armstrong. Like, if you're in a bouncy house, like what do you think? Are you on like a whale?
I was not on drugs that day.
Okay. So you
speaking of which, this is a No Laurels episode. Now is the time.
Mom, well, not my mom, my second mom. If you're listening, turn it off.
10 minutes ago, turn this off.
Turn it off. You're done. What do you want to say?
Oh, nothing. But if we're gonna start talking about me
Oh,
going out
yeah,
and
yeah,
doing
yeah.
drugs,
We could
then
talk about, yeah, we're going to talk about you doing drugs because this has been a very interesting year for you. You
oh god,
you believe that you've been laced twice. Like
yeah,
very scary. We could talk about the fun one first. The one that happened the other day.
it was barely fun, but it wasn't that bad.
Well, comparing to the other one, which was a nightmare. Stay tuned for that one. The other, this one was like, what, you explain it.
Okay, so retelling, I had to write a paper for school. So I stayed at work all night. Like I waited for everybody to leave and I just used my office to write the paper. I spent all night doing it. And then I was, and I left and I was in the financial district in like the middle of the night. I didn't want to travel all the way home and then try to get weed and, smoke and stay up even longer. So I knew about a smoke shop that was next to the Pace University dorms, and I figured that they would be open. So I walked around the corner, and I stopped in. There was a lot of guys that I would not want to see in a dark alley in that shop.
Some Batman villains.
No, not Batman villains. People who, I don't.
You
people
just
who look
just
like
go
they
ahead.
sell drugs.
Yeah.
And
Some shady characters.
yeah, so I pushed past all of them. I tried to be as, cordial as possible.
Cheers, man.
And I walk in, I buy a joint is really the important part, and I walk out. I start walking down the street. I'm smoking the joint. I'm walking to the train station, and I notice before I'm even halfway to the train station that I'm really, really stoned. Like I could stop here. Like halfway through. And then I continued to smoke it. I got down to the train station. I threw it. I started walking down the train station. As soon as I hit the platform on the train station, everything starts to look like a pop-up picture book. Like I've lost all depth perception, and now like the platform and then the tracks and then the wall and then everything's moving.
Oh my god.
Like the walls were like breathing. And I was standing next to a transformer that was making like a wow, wow, wow noise. So I thought that was in my head.
Who, Optimus or something? What do you mean?
No, a transformer, like the things they run electricity through.
Oh,
the
I'm
big
so
things.
into Transformers right now. I'm thinking you're talking about. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? Like there was like a display. Like who was it? Bumblebee?
No,
wow, that was
it was like
dumb.
an electric transformer.
That was
Now you know you're retarded.
that. Wow. Like, who is it? Bumblebee. Anyway. Good.
No, yeah. So I thought that
wow.
noise.
That's
was,
how
like,
you know you
happening.
got laced when you see fucking Ratchet running down the street.
No, I was not that far gone. But yeah, no, I hear like a wow, wow, and I couldn't tell where it was coming from. I eventually figured out they were just standing next to something. But yeah, like everything was like a picture book, and then like I think I might have been forgetting to breathe, or like there was something going on. But like usually weed, you smoke it and you get as stoned as you're gonna get, and then it's all downhill from there. But I started having like phases where like after a few minutes, like all of a sudden like my lips felt cold, and then like I was transferring trains later on, and I was walking up the stairs and I just felt my heart go boom, boom. And I went from having like super blurry vision to having like the most razor sharp adrenaline vision ever.
Big bang heart moment.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. And that faded after a few minutes.
Damn.
And
You've
I
never
just
had that
felt
clear vision in your life?
I mean, no. I mean, if it's not a secret, I don't see that good.
No, Clay's one of us. Clay's a mutant like us.
Yeah, so I don't see that good, but there's never been a go time moment in my life. Like there's never been like an adrenaline filled moment in my life where like I felt like I couldn't see everything just fine.
Uh-huh.
Like when the brain chemicals really hit, there's no visual impairments.
Okay. So that's what happened here.
Yeah, and I went home. The next day, like my chest hurt, my head hurt for like 24 hours.
Wow. And this is from a joint from a shop, like a legal shop.
Legal is a tricky.
Well, this
term.
is what you were saying. You don't like the proliferation of weed shops in the city, at least where we are, and probably in LA. and probably
also,
in
I work in the New York State government, so like I'm aware that like right now they're pretty much unregulated.
right.
You
The
know, like I
shops.
kind of have that perspective that I know, like I just know because I've applied for the job postings for the people that are supposed to be regulating these things. Like they're still hiring people to regulate.
Okay.
That there's no regulation.
Oh, okay.
You
So
know,
you
like
don't
you
know
don't even
what.
get ID'd, like
But you
nothing.
don't think that you were saying earlier, you don't think that you got laced per se. You think that it was what? You said it was like a cannabinoid or something, you think?
Yeah, yeah. So I don't think that there was like cocaine or anything like that in there. I think that if anything, it was either some smokable hallucinogen. I don't think you're supposed to smoke hallucinogens in
Oh my
general.
god.
I know people smoke DMT, but whatever. Or it was like an extra, like they sprayed it with like an extra, synthetic cannabinoid, like a K2 type
Oh my
thing, because
god.
it tasted like weed, it smelled like weed, but then there was just like certain parts of the experience that felt like somebody put an acupuncture needle in my brain.
What
You
a
know?
what an experience. I've never even heard of anything being compared to that. That doesn't sound fun at all.
Yeah, but like I was telling you the first time, I was also listening to the Tech Nine experience while all this was
Yes.
going on.
Yes.
So
For
I was
those that
filled with
don't know,
courage.
you got to listen to a song called T9X by Tech Nine. One
It
of
was
his
definitely a
best
magical
songs.
moment to hear that.
Yeah, like
while
it's
that
it's
was
like really
happening.
like a stars aligned moment because it's a song all about him. It's like a 7-minute song all about him doing a massive amount of drugs, and it's like in a chopped and screwed voice. It's a great song. Like it's a song you definitely put on at night. You know, you're like
That was the first Tech Nine song I ever heard.
Is it
You showed
really?
me that at you showed me that at camp.
Yeah, I showed you that probably at camp at like 3 a.m. Like we were gonna go to sleep.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah,
hey, listen
yeah,
to this spooky song. Yeah, I remember us playing that on the iHome. That what is it? The iPod Home or something? The iStation, whatever. Yeah, man. If you ever heard T9X, bro, that is like top 5 Tech Nine songs. It's so awesome, especially if you're a drug head. Like I could imagine getting stupid high to that and then listening to it must be awesome. But I don't do those kind of things. I'm a straight
And
narrow
I'm not a
guy.
music video guy. I feel like a lot of the time music videos ruin songs. But like if you could get like a really well directed music video to that, like that would be
Honestly, it could be a short movie, really.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like it'd be a whole short film.
You could do like a Wizard of Oz, not a Wizard of Oz, but like a little like a journey. Because he goes to like
Yeah.
from different houses and he's like, fucking chicks in the bathroom and you can't, all this stuff. Great song, but let's not get muddled in these. It's not the Tech Nine podcast. People are gonna tune out. I don't even know if
Yes.
anybody listens to Tech Nine, but I would like to dive into some Tech Nine war on this show one day. Maybe a its own episode though, so the people can get what they want, and the people that don't want to listen to it, they don't gotta listen to it. So
Do a deep dive.
yeah, I want to do a deep dive, especially into KOD. It's a great album. Now listen to
Oh
this.
yeah.
So that was child's play compared to what happened mere months ago. Oh, Halloween, right? Like Halloween,
Halloween
weekend.
night.
So
Or
I
no,
suggest,
it was the Friday before Halloween.
yeah, I suggest you leave out any names you don't want to, just keep that in mind in case you don't want to, just leave out any names that are maybe involved. I don't know. It's up to you. But tell us about this wicked Halloween weekend you had.
Okay.
Wow, this is I mean, you called me with this and I was shocked. And the best thing is you called me with this story and didn't even tell me till like 10 minutes in the conversation. You're like, "Hey, how's everything going? Yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that." By the way, I think I got laced this weekend. I was like, "What?" And then you just go into like this whole story that you're about to tell me. I was like, "Wow."
But that's because I had been doing so much thinking about it. Like it had been the main thing on my mind that I was so relieved to just talk about something
Right.
else.
I could imagine. Yeah.
And I mean, in a roundabout way, I might have even called to say that, but it's not like I wanted to
Yeah.
say it. It was,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
almost like, something happens and like you got to, when important things happen, you got to share it with people that you care about.
Right. I'm
You know.
very honored you said that. So share it with the people we care about most. The audience.
Yeah.
Share it with the world.
So for Halloween, little bit of context. I was a sexy nurse.
You often gender bend your costumes.
Every once in
You
a
were
while.
Missy from Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, I've been Misty from Pokemon.
Misty from Pokemon. So it's not the first time you've worn a
I
nice
look
little
better this time. I look
skirt
good.
or a dress or a wig.
Anyway, so yeah, I was out. I was at Mother Pugs. It was a great time.
At a bar.
And Yeah. It was a cool. They had like a punk rock show. Everybody was hanging out. We were dancing. It was having a good time. And then probably around 11, I would say.
Kind of early in the night.
Yeah, like uh I think mostly because the people who I live kind of on the other side of town, so they wanted to start migrating to there if we were really gonna party.
Okay.
So we went to this little hole in the wall fucking bar
That's where it
all the
all
way out in
begins.
Tottenville, which I will name because I don't like them. I'm never.
Yeah,
going
I was
back.
gonna say definitely name the bar and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah, I was at Aloysius in Tottenville. Um, I couldn't spell it if my life depended on it.
yeah,
But I was at Aloysius.
start drinking.
Yeah, and I mean to be
Nothing
fair,
crazy,
I had one or two drinks before I got there. At the
Nothing
other
crazy.
bar.
Nothing
Nothing
crazy.
crazy. I get in. They have it's so like South Shore Staten Island. Like they had a whole spread of like Italian meats. Like they had like
Just
salami.
sitting there?
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh my god.
So
Everybody's
I'm like
sticking
kind
their
of drunk, like
hands in
making
there.
sandwiches. And point of
Yeah.
that is I had a full stomach,
Okay.
right? Like I was drinking. I had a very full stomach. I made sure I was full, and that's why I was there. Everything's cool. We're hanging out. We get a drink, and I'm with two girls. One of them is probably one of my closest friends of all time, and the other one is her really close friend who I do like. And you know,
Well, I'll just skip ahead and say she hands you half of her drink, one of them.
okay, but going back a little bit before that, I'm talking to the one who I'm less good friends with, who I still like, and my close friend has peeled off, and she's now talking to another group of guys. And I'm not. Neither of us are about to stop her, but the girl pretty much says to me like, I don't like that guy that she's talking to. She's
Right.
like, I don't like a lot of people that my friend was talking to, and she's just a social person. She has like real golden retriever energy. So she's talking to everybody. We eventually go back inside.
That is
We're
such
sitting
a
down
fun.
at
I
the
never
bar.
heard that golden retriever energy. It's hilarious.
That was what her friend described it as, and I think it's very accurate. Like she's super friendly,
Just walk up,
is
talk
not
to
a
anybody, cheerful.
not a
very-
danger sensor, really.
Oh, just run right into danger, not even know.
Yeah. Um.
Does not pick up
And-
on the vibe.
Yeah. So we went back into the bar, and mind you, like there's a costume contest. Like people are so drunk. It's Halloween. We go back into the bar. We're sitting down at the bar. I'm having drinks with my friend's friend, pretty much, and my close friend is still off walking around the bar because she knows absolutely everybody. She's a bartender in town. She knows everybody, so everybody's pulling her to the side and having a quick conversation. And her friend mentions again, like I don't really like some of the people that she's talking to. So we kind of look over, we wave her back, and we're like, "Hey, come back over here." And we've been drinking. I'm not going to like sugarcoat that. Like we have, probably had maybe we're on our second drink since we got to the bar. And my friend comes back and she hands me half of a twisted tea that I did not see her get. We ordered all our drinks together except for that one. I don't even know where she got it from. And she hands me the twisted tea. I knock it back. And then I remember us ordering one more drink, and then things literally went black. Like I have no memories until
After throwing that twisted tea back.
yeah. So I throw the twisted tea back, and I remember us ordering one more drink. Like I do remember that after that because it was kind of in the same moment.
Wow.
And then the next thing I remember is like I'm kind of coming out of a blackout. I'm outside of the bar, and we're trying to get in the car, and my friend can barely open her car door. Like she actually couldn't open the car door. And some guy walks up to us and he's like, "Yo, listen, like you can't drive. Like you guys are too fucked up." And I can't remember if he said something about an Uber or if he offered to give us a ride. I think he offered to give us a ride. And I don't really remember getting in the car, but I remember kind of deciding it was good to listen to this guy. And then the next thing I remember is I'm completely on the other side of Staten Island. like a 30-minute drive away, kind of just stumbling down the street, walking in circles. And I autopiloted. I said I went through like a rave phase before. I autopiloted and just did whatever I would have done coming home at 7 in the morning. I got a sandwich, I got a cigarette. I'm talking to the guy at the counter. I'm not really like in a headspace where like I really understand like what had just happened. And a funny thing happened that I probably didn't tell you because I didn't even remember it at the time. But I wound up with my friend's phone in my pocket. And I didn't even realize at the time. So the phone in my pocket starts ringing. I pick it up and there's some guy on the phone, and he just starts yelling at me about like where my friend is and this and that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know where she is. Like, fucking go find her. I was not stressed at all about how I did not know where my friend was. And this guy starts yelling at me.
Because now you don't know where your best friend is that gave you the drink. You don't even know.
But I didn't realize that at the time.
So
let's speed up a little bit. So
you're gone.
Eventually I stumble around for what I would estimate is 7 hours before I get home.
But you have no recollection of those 7 hours. Like you said, it was like bits and pieces. Like you remember getting a sandwich. Yeah. You remember like walking here, and you remember going to the ferry like 5 times.
Yeah. Like I was definitely walking in circles. I think I went to the ferry at least two times before I got on it.
7 hours.
And then when I finally wake up at my house, that later that day, at probably like 1:00 in the afternoon, I wake up, I realize I have my friend's phone in my pocket. And then I start remembering like, oh, like I have no recollection of my female friend getting home safe.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh fuck. So I don't have my phone. My phone is missing. I guess we swapped phones. And well, no, my phone was in her car. And I start calling some of our mutual friends from her phone and being like, hey, like, what do you think I should do? I'm trying to see if anybody would go do a drive-by and make sure that she's okay. But her mom got like a new boyfriend and he's a scary dude. So nobody was really willing to go check on her.
Except you.
I had to. I was ready to walk through fire because I realized that I had just fucked up.
Understandable.
We went out all night drinking. We got in a car with somebody, and now I don't know where my friend is, and I don't remember how I got to where my first memory after that, which was all the way on the other side of town. So freaking out. I get on the bus because I live in Brooklyn now, and I get on the bus to go to Staten Island across the bridge. I'm like freaking out. I call my mom because like it's like mom time.
Yep.
Gotta
call
like
SEAL Team 6.
Things just got serious. Time to get honest and be like, hey, we need to get across town as fast as possible because taking the bus would have taken so long. It would have been at least another hour.
Damn.
So I get in a car. I get my mom to come pick me up, and I'm sick. Like I am screaming. I am crying. Like I went out and I'm thinking that I just abandoned my friend because I'm an out of control drunk. And good news is that we eventually get there. I knock on her door. I give her phone back. She's fine. I see her mother. Everything's fine. And then I guess, the interesting part is, I start going back around into my head. I'm like, wait, like, where was I for 7 hours? Like, why am I fucked up the next day?
When you didn't drink that much.
Yeah. Like I had, if I was going to count them, I can't say I was, taking it lightly. It was Halloween. Like
but
I was
you didn't drink enough to get like that.
Yeah.
You know yourself by now.
Or at least like prior to blacking out, I was not in danger of blacking out,
But they said, I don't know how much detail you want to get into. They said like, well, I guess you might have been going to say this, but you said that you had heard word that like you were causing a ruckus in the bar and you don't even remember it.
Yeah. So that's the other thing that like really started to get like my wheels turning is like when I started to hear about like what happened after I blacked out.
Oh my god.
And I heard more about that.
What?
Um, yeah. So this is gonna be terrible. I'm glad I didn't say my friend's name.
Well, to be
So,
fair, you are under the influence of some substance you do not know of.
yes.
So you are absolved from whatever you did, basically.
Yeah, and I mean just to like add some more atmosphere to it, my friend also like in the bar started falling asleep,
Oh
you know.
god.
And I don't want to say
Which
how
is
they
probably what the person that gave her the drink intended on happening.
Yeah, and I mean thank God that like whatever happened, like she was with me and that person probably backed off or just gave
Right, because
up
she
or
got in a car with her friends.
yeah. Whoever that
Thank
was
God.
obviously her friends.
Thank God.
But yeah, so I was told the first thing I was told was that you know, her friend, the one who was there, told me that we almost got kicked out because we started like making out and like practically dry humping on the
Oh my
bar.
God. And they didn't kick you out for that though.
No, that is not why I got kicked out.
You did though.
The because then the next thing happened, and did I mention that this is a no laurels episode?
Yeah, I hope you're not listening to this, Mom. She doesn't know this?
I think she kind of know. I told her half of it,
Okay.
which is that I walked into the middle of the room, you know, sort of like the dance floor area of the bar, and there was a garbage can next to that table of all the salamis and stuff. And I straight up pulled my skirt up and I just started taking a piss in the garbage can.
You pulled your skirt up and started peeing.
Yeah, which is definitely a thing I would do. Like, I'm not saying that that's a thing I would do intentionally, but like, you know, highly under the influence, yes, I will pee in something like that. And
And
at that point, the story goes that the bouncer comes up behind me to try and stop me, and I pulled a knife on him.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't get your ass beat for that.
Me too. I might have got pushed on the ground because I was a little bit
But like the
scraped up.
fact that they didn't jump you for that is wild. You know, like for threatening them with a knife. I feel like there might have been more physical harm, so thank God there wasn't.
But I think that there was good security. I think I was not the I mean, I pulled out a knife, but I was not the most dangerous person at that bar.
Okay. Obviously the person spiking people was.
Yeah. And so then I think at that point is when they kicked us out. And then the new thing that I heard about that was that the bar had a front door and a back door. The car that we came in was in the back of the bar. But I think we got thrown out the front of the bar. And me and my friend continued to pretty much like I don't think we made it to full intercourse, but we were getting crazy on the sidewalk.
Wow.
We were going too far on the sidewalk.
Damn.
And oh God, why am I saying this out loud?
Well, then you put the pieces together with her. And
and then they re-kick us out. Like they kick us out off the front sidewalk. I think they bring us through the bar and bring us to the back of the bar.
They like take this dog and pony show over there.
Yeah. And then I think that's when my memory started again, and they said you can't drive, and then we got picked up by some nice people.
Yeah.
And I also found out because I was a little bit, you know, confused and, you know, a little bit annoyed because I asked my friend, like, she had a you know, a front door camera, and I asked her to you know, pull the camera and see who drove us home. Like, how did we get home? Like, what happened that night? And she pretty much told me like last week, she's like, yeah, you know, I was really wondering, I was thinking about it a lot. I almost asked my mom to pull the video. And then I remembered what happened in front of the bar. And God only knows what we did in front of my front door camera.
Oh. So you don't want that footage. Sure, you don't want
Yeah.
that footage? We could blur it out, play it on the show.
Well, it would be her mom retrieving it.
You
That's
could blur
the
her
problem.
face. You could blur both of your faces. Play it on the show. Damn, put that shit on Xvids. That's wild. You almost started fucking
Yeah.
on the sidewalk. So then you finally find her,
Yeah, I finally found her.
Next
Everything's
day.
fine now.
but we don't know
Um,
what you think is probably GHB.
I think it was some type of, yes, like alcohol similar date rape drug. It wasn't ecstasy. It wasn't LSD.
Well, then
Um,
tell us what your mom said while you were in the car about another incident that happened like the week before that, or like 2 days before that. Not with you though.
No, it was that night.
The same night.
It was the same night. She's like, because I after she took me to go see my friend later that night, me and my friend meet up. We decide to, we want to like debrief what the fuck just happened, and we talk about it for a minute. We kind of come to the conclusion that we had been drugged, and at that point, she also mentioned that she had been drugged there before, which I found infuriating.
Like, why would you go back?
Like, why did you bring me to a bar that you had already been drugged at? But I
process.
like I said to you before, like I think that she felt safe because she thought that she knew who did that, and it just wasn't going to happen
It's
again.
always who you know.
Yeah,
It's always
yeah,
somebody you know.
Yeah, so whatever.
No,
So
not
then,
that part. Yeah. What your mom said about the other thing.
So I tell my mom, because at that point my mom just thinks I'm like an out of control drunk. Like, when I saw my mom, I'm like, I'm a terrible person. I can't believe like I just got that wasted and just abandoned my friend in a car full of men. But then we kind of realized that like things weren't right. I told my mom, and she's like, wow, that is so crazy. Your aunt just texted me and said that 5 of your cousin's friends got drugged at a party in Jersey, I think it was.
Yeah, with fentanyl
The-
needles.
The night before, yeah, and they were getting stuck with needles, which is fucking
Bro,
crazy.
and this is what I was hearing about the Travis Scott show. Remember I was telling you, but you didn't
I
really
was
know about it.
completely ignorant when you told me about
Yeah.
that.
So at the trap, we talked about the Astroworld debacle, the disaster, I should say. I don't even know what to call it. It was horrendous. But they were saying the night that it happened, they were saying on TikTok, on YouTube, like people's firsthand perspectives and reports were saying that they saw people getting stuck with needles and then dropping. But it really didn't make it past, I think, that night. Like, it wasn't something that made it into the mainstream media story, I don't think. But those were the reports that night. And I'm like, yo, I can believe that. Especially now that you say that you have people have seen people get stuck with fentanyl needles. Like, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like something that like is kind of uncommon, but like,
No,
I
it
think
sounds like
the
something
older I
that could
get, like,
definitely happen.
yeah, the older I get, the more I realize it happens a lot. I had another girlfriend, who also was like running at that problem. She worked at a in a nightlife venue where a lot of people were getting drugged, and it was like it felt like it was going to be any day that it was going to be her, and it turned out to be one of the people that worked at the venue that
It's
was
who you know. I'm telling you.
yeah
It's who you know.
that was doing it,
Like the
and they were
good
putting
night club.
heroin in people's drinks.
What the hell?
They were spiking people with heroin.
Like fentanyl needles? That's the first time I heard about it when I heard about that Travis Scott show. Scary. And you can imagine just because that's strong shit. You just one poke, boom. They're
Yeah.
out. They're out. But people were like, oh no, that I didn't hear anything about that. That didn't happen. I don't know nothing about that. Telling you, I believe it. Yeah, so it's a scary world, but I also want to talk to you about AnimeCon because you went there like a month ago.
Yeah, and that was, I was thinking about it after you told me that you wanted to talk about this, and I was like, oh wow, like this is also, now that I think about it, like definitely a no laurel story. Because the first thing about AnimeCon, when I started to like think about like, oh, how was my AnimeCon? First of all, I ate mushrooms before I went, which is a terrible idea.
And now you're seeing a bunch of Gokus flying around.
Well, no, because
Ash
that's what I
Ketchums.
did before I went to Comic Con. Comic Con, maybe like a month before was awesome. I went spur of the
Really?
moment. Yeah, it was. I went spur of the moment. I mean, I don't need to tell anybody that Comic Con is great,
I have
but
not found it great since I don't know. I didn't like it the last time I went. It was too crowded.
yeah, but this time it's like the first one after the pandemic. It wasn't that bad.
Oh, it was like you could feel the relief in the air. Like we're back.
Yes, yeah, for
Everybody was
sure.
excited.
And it was
Right.
also smaller.
Was it? Oh, because
Yes.
more people are not like they're like squeamish about like I don't know if I want to go. A lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. So they didn't use the whole Javits Center. Remember how you used to walk like mad far
Yeah,
to go
you could
to
walk the
Artist
whole.
Alley?
Yeah, you could walk the whole place.
Yeah, like that whole part, Artist Alley was a much smaller part.
Okay.
It was in the basement where they would normally have panels, and then they also, I think they might have had altogether less panels.
Okay.
But they had a ton, so I'm not even sure. But they also had like a tabletop gaming section, which is really cool. That's
that
like the
sounds
new
lit.
thing.
That sounds
It's an
lit.
old thing, but it's like becoming much more popular, I
Bringing it
guess.
back. It's retro.
Yeah.
So
But
Anime
anyway,
Con.
yes. So I went to Comic Con. I ate a small amount. I'm not going there and freaking out.
Blasted.
I had like one mushroom before I went to Comic Con, and it was great. It was just a great day. And I tried to do that again for Anime Con, but even like before I got there, I was like, oh, this is like not a good idea. Like I feel very like uneasy and uncomfortable right now. And then
Why? Just the way it hit.
yeah, just
Okay.
just like
It wasn't the same. It wasn't. It wasn't the same feeling. Not because of
Yeah.
anything that was happening to you.
no, not because of anything that was happening to me.
Nobody was
It was
groping
just
you.
that was just traveling to the event.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, like I don't feel that great.
Not the good. Not
I
a good
wish
dose.
this was over.
And it didn't even start.
Yeah.
So then you get in
But-
there.
And detail, I had so much fun at Comic Con. I think I paid, I don't even know how much I paid to get into Anime Con because I bought the tickets like the day of. Like I
Mhm.
bought them on the spot. I did not pre-order them, so I must have spent $170 to go
For
to,
one
to go
day?
to- yeah,
Wow. And it's like you're already there, so you're not gonna go back.
yeah, and I mean, well, no. Like I bought the tickets the night before
Okay.
for that much money. Oh, speaking of which, yeah, when I went to go pick up the tickets, Midtown Comics.
I remember that
Um,
place. That's the place that's upstairs.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I had to go pick up the tickets at Midtown Comics, and uh I walk in and I'm like, hey, I'm here to pick up some, my event badge. And the guy's like, all right, do you have a QR code? If you don't have a QR code, there's nothing I can do for you.
What?
He said it so strongly. I'm like, all right, he's probably dealt with this 100 times today. There's really, all right. And I had not found a QR code yet. I had not like seen
They
any
don't
new
email
emails
one
yet.
to you?
Yeah, because it was one of these things where I bought the ticket and then they told me, they're like, we're gonna let you know when it's ready, and they let me know. I think they let me know it was ready, but I didn't know where to get a QR code. So I stood there and I'm just like going through my phone. I'm going through my other email. I'm going through all my spam folders, through my junk folders, and I can't find this
QR code.
this code. And I'm standing there for like longer than 5 minutes, and there's nobody in the store. Like it's not busy. This guy's not doing anything. He's just standing there, like watching me squirm. And like after 5 minutes, he's like, "Hey, what's your email?" And I tell him my email, and then he immediately hands me the badge. I'm like, that is you doing something for
And
me.
you just go reverse. There's nothing I could do if you don't have a QR code. It's like,
Now you know you're retarded.
what are you talking about? You just like literally did something for me.
Yeah, no.
There's
I said that to his
nothing
face
I
and walked
can
out.
do. You know what it probably is? He's probably like, all right, there's gonna be mad heads, or like there's mad heads coming in. I don't want to do this for everybody. And they were
Yeah.
probably like, nobody in your vicinity. You came by yourself, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna give the kid a favor,
Yeah,
but I'm not doing this for everybody. I'm not doing the work. So you got hooked up.
yeah. I don't know what that because like when I picked up my tickets for Comic Con in a hotel for some reason, those guys were like, "What's your email?" And then I just told them, and they were like, "All right, great." And they gave me the tickets. It wasn't that complicated.
My man ain't want to work. My man ain't want to work.
That was so
He
annoying.
wants to ring up comics. Beep.
No,
That's
and
it.
mind you, I was trying to find this QR code. I'm on mushrooms. Like I could barely read. I'm
Because
like,
you're picking them up the day of to just go right there.
yeah, and like I'm
Okay.
like nervous. Like I'm practically sweating looking through my email.
Wow. So it did not start well.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like I'm feeling stupid. I'm like in the store. I'm like, what QR code was I supposed to get? Like, am I really this fucked? Like, and then he just looked at my email and everything was fine. I was like, oh god.
Wow. Wow. So then you go. Where was AnimeCon at? It was in Javits?
Same place. It used to. I think it used to be. It used to always go on in the first couple of years next to Comic-Con at the same time on the same days.
Okay.
But now I guess it was big enough that they made it its own thing.
Okay.
And I get there. It's not as big. It's not as many people. It's not as much fanfare. You kind of get right in. The first thing that bugged me out is like Comic-Con, there was no questions asked, but the AnimeCon, I had to show ID and vaccination right away.
Okay.
Wow,
and
I
they're
had to
still
get a
doing
bracelet. Yeah, so they checked my ID, they checked my vaccination, like I was dangerous, right? But then when it came time to actually check the badge that I just paid $170 and went across town for, nobody even asked for it.
So all you had to do was show your ID and Vax card, and you didn't even show your badge that would allow you in the venue.
Yeah, like nobody even said a word about the badge.
Well, that's for the people who want to go for free next year. Try it out.
And
Just
I
go.
think that's what it was, is they kind of like they just like faked everybody. It's not going to work next year. Is they faked everybody out into buying tickets and then just did not bother because I think that they wanted extra people to come in who didn't even have tickets.
Oh, okay.
To just spend money.
Fill it up. Okay. Yeah, because they'll spend money when they're in there anyway.
Yeah, so they didn't give anybody a problem.
$170?
Something like that. It might have been more.
For AnimeCon?
I think it was about 100. You know what happened was that I had FOMO, I guess, because I called a friend of mine called me and I was like, "You're in a pretty loud place. Like, where are you?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm at this anime convention that I never heard of before." And I was like, "What the fuck? Like, I want to go." So that's why I paid so much money.
So then you get
and also I paid like $130 to go to Comic-Con, and that was great.
Yeah.
So what's the big deal?
And you love anime.
Yeah. No, yeah, and that was the other thing is I do like anime. As much as I try not to be like a complete nerd, like it is.
I am very aware of how much you love anime. Trust me.
Yeah.
Very aware.
I did not dress up.
No?
But no, I didn't.
Yeah,
I
you didn't throw on the
time.
Misty
I thought
costume?
about it. What do you say?
Should have thrown on the Misty costume.
No, I thought about it. I was like looking around, like what can I do with like the regular clothes I own and maybe like a wig, and like it was like, dude, like none of this is gonna be good. I'm just gonna go and look
Too
good.
short notice.
Yeah. So first thing is there's not a lot of people at Anime Con, but it was great. Like people do great cosplay, stuff like that. It's always great to look at everybody's costumes. I get there. The first thing I notice is that, I'm not doing bad at Comic Con, but I'm in Anime Con 10. Like I'm a real dime piece over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're saying the clientele is not the best looking.
Yeah, and it's like noticeable, like
which is why a lot of people like Comic-Con. I mean, it's like the costumes, like chicks are looking bad.
No, that is not Anime Con.
It's the opposite.
Unfortunately.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no, I am like a real
Comic-Con.
anime...
They got some bad stuff up in there.
No, not Anime Con. All the girls from Comic Con were tired and they did their thing already.
So half of your experience is now gone.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's not really like looking at like hot chicks. It's more looking at just like good anime costumes because most people like it seemed like we're dressing up as like the character that they truly wanted to be in life.
They want to be like that 24/7.
Yeah, like every girl was like some like floofy dressed princess from like a show I had never heard of.
So not like anything hardcore.
Nothing hardcore, nothing like hot.
How many Sailor Moons were there? Well, that would be considered. What would Sailor Moon be considered?
No, Sailor Moon is anime, but
well, I know it's anime, but is it like hardcore anime?
No, there's just as many Sailor Moons at Comic-Con, I would say, as there are at Anime Con. It's not like there's more of them.
Okay.
You know, like I said, like these girls want to be these like weird like princesses. Like I didn't understand it. I'd never seen these shows.
Okay. Well, anime
But it
is
was
very expensive, very vast.
yeah. There's a
All
lot of stuff,
kinds
and
of anime.
I'm definitely not the person who's seen everything. The things I like, but I hadn't seen most of
So you
what
were
these
not
girls are.
impressed with the clientele's appearance.
Yeah, not a lot of people that were into working out. It's not exactly a big overlap with the fitness community.
Well, I mean, this isn't it's not fitness con, it's not beauty
no,
con,
it's not.
but you did expect something nice to look at. You did expect some eye candy.
Yeah.
Did not get that. So then now
No.
that that's out of the picture, what is there to do for you?
No, but you know, and I can't say that because there was also like actual Japanese girls who like were just straight up like cartoonishly like chirping to each other in Japanese. Like they were attractive, but other than that, like
Okay. Which I totally regret not having you. I mean, I didn't even know you did this, but next year, like we should totally have you there with like a microphone interview.
I was totally thinking about this, like coming to you 3 months later from AnimeCon. Like
Next time, I don't know if you want to, we'll hook it up. We'll get you in there. We'll do like a little video or something. From
oh no,
AnimeCon.
totally. That makes it fun for me.
Yeah, maybe I'll come down. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm down
for a good
for
time, even if you don't like anime.
I don't know if I'm
spent
down to
so
spend
much money,
100.
though.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if I'm down to spend 170 bones, but it
Well,
sounds
no,
like an event I
we've done
would like
events.
more because there's not as many people there.
Yeah, it's less people.
But were the people fun and nice, despite you not being sexually aroused by their presence?
Well, no, I mean that was the thing is that like because I was an Anime Con 10, like people wanted to talk to me.
Oh, so people were coming up to you.
Yeah, like definitely cuz like the level of creep around there is high.
Right, so you're not a creepy guy.
No, so
You
like
can imagine
like, you
all the
definitely
people-
get the vibe that like somebody comes to talk to you and like they're just relieved that just like a normal person.
Normal, because like all the
Yeah.
other guys like, they're like, Next year though, you gotta go all out. Like you gotta dead ass treat it like you're like Tom Holland or something. Just work out mad hard like 6 months before, and just find like the anime costume that would like fit you better, and just go there jacked up, go there like half naked, and go in. And I guarantee you, in the next like 5 years, the attractive level at AnimeCon is gonna get better. It's gonna get better.
Yeah.
But you
But-
need to go next year and just go all in and look mad hot. And
Yeah,
get
I didn't think
mad
about
people.
it. Both conventions, I just completely went spur of the moment. It's not something like I planned on
No,
doing.
you need to go in there, rip the shirt off, chiseled. And then- and
Listen,
then-
I need
and
to
then-
get chiseled. I tell you, I've been getting a little bit of weight
and then
lately.
talk to people. Well, that's good. You're bulking. Now you just cut. You're in the bulk phase.
I looked in the mirror like last week after I'd had like a big meal. I was like, I look like my dad.
We got the belly. got the
Not
gut?
fully, but it's getting there. Like,
Oh, that's all right. You can knock it out. You can knock it out quick. So then, what did you do at AnimeCon? What was there to do?
I walked around. I looked at all the costumes. Like I said, I had ate a mushroom before I went there. So everybody's costume looked so real. Like that, it really adds like any finishing touches that they missed.
What
You
if
know,
what
like-
now? What like listen to this. This is a theory now. What if the mushrooms made everybody look kind of mid to you, but in reality, everybody was hot?
No, I was also there for like 12 hours. Like I was there the entire day. Maybe not 12 hours, but I was there.
But you'd be tight though. You'd be tight if you saw like a video from AnimeCon and everybody actually looked hot, and in your mind you're like, wait, I don't remember that.
No, 'cause
Everybody
I went on
looks
day 2. I saw videos before I went,
okay.
and I kind of knew that was the situation already. That it was gonna be less crowded.
But what
not-
activities do you do? Or you just
I
walk
spent
around
a
and
ton
look
of
at-
money.
on what?
I bought I realized I like I think I'm like a toy guy. Like I like
You're a toy guy.
not the action figures, but like the big statues.
Uh-oh.
I
Filling
like
up the
those.
room.
And then AnimeCon is actually more so than Comic-Con, like very fashion oriented.
Right. Oh, so like the stuff to wear, like stuff to buy.
Yeah. It's a lot of fashion collabs where like, you know, like the anime studio will like collaborate with like actual designers and like
I've
put out
seen
lines.
those. Yeah. So you bought a lot of that stuff?
I did, and then I bought one sweatshirt and then
What's
I bought
the
something else for
flyest?
somebody
What's
else.
the
that I didn't
flyest
wear.
thing you got?
Yeah, I got this sick at the time I thought it was sick. It was like a fucking flannel. It was a hoodie, and like it had like a big back patch on it. Like it was like a like a biker style thing.
Yeah.
But it was
Anarchy.
Brooke from One Piece. I realize now it looks terrible.
Does it? Do you have it around in arm's reach? Let's see this.
No, all my laundry's bagged up.
Damn.
Like, it just looks like a dirty like Walmart flannel from the front.
That-
like
that-
a
The mushrooms.
wall-
The mushrooms got you thinking different.
yeah.
You be like, yo,
Yeah.
this shit
Well,
is
also
fire.
it was just so cold. Like I had to buy a hoodie.
Okay.
So
didn't
I
go
just went
prepared.
for like the one I liked the
It was
best.
cold in there.
No, it was cold outside.
Oh, okay.
And I had to. I was
So you
going
bought a
somewhere
bunch
later
of
that
stuff.
night.
So you
I had
bought
a big.
a bunch of stuff,
Yeah.
and that was it.
Yes. No. So I bought a bunch of stuff. There's also there's tabletop gaming.
Yeah.
So like you can just sit down and play games.
Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic.
No, it was a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. That's like
Oh.
the big thing coming back now.
Really? Maybe we should. I never played.
Yeah, and like they had people where like if you've never played it before, like you could sit down at the table and they had reps there to teach you how to play it.
Oh, wow, that sounds fun.
No, it actually is. It was just like I don't want to invest myself into a 6-hour board game right now.
So me and you could sit down at the same table. We can get schooled.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
And then they also had I don't know what the word they used it for it was, but you remember games like Chameleon and Mafia?
Like the
Where,
phone
like-
games, Mafia, like Facebook. Like
no,
the
no,
Facebook game?
like you like a game where like you sit in like a circle and like you have
No.
to figure out like who the killer is.
Oh yeah, we played that one time at camp. Remember?
Yeah, they have like evolved versions of that where like everybody has roles and you have to figure out like whose role it is. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
Sounds fun.
No, yeah, it is. I didn't participate in it though, just because I was like, I don't like if I'm only here for 7 hours, I don't want to spend an hour and a half doing one thing.
Let us know. Let us know in the comments if you want GKB to take over Anime Con. We might have to do it.
No,
I have
it
to
was
bring
cool.
a
And they
few
had-
heads.
they
Me,
had,
you, and
like,
Crow.
the big video game stations. They had Comic-Con. They had a whole section that was dedicated to just computers. It was just like
Oh, wow.
rows and aisles of
I never
computers.
seen
and
that. I
you could
remember the
just-
demo section when I used to go. They had the demos.
Yeah, no, but now people are like gaming addicts. So like you have to like people have to be able to get their fix like halfway through the convention.
Oh my god! Like they put the needle in. You know. put
And
the
not even
needle
like
in.
you can go and like play like their arcade games. Like they give you like straight up setup computers so that you can sit there and download your games that you like to
Wow! You could play that World of Warcraft for 2 hours.
play.
Get your little elf. Upgrade your little elf.
Yeah, I thought they were having like a contest. I walked up to them and they were like, "Oh no, like this is just a free computer."
no,
Like I
get away from me! I'm doing a mission right now.
Yeah,
No, this is
It's
all
wild.
me. This is all me. I never seen that. Maybe that was there when I used to go.
no,
but-
it's new.
Oh, okay.
It's
Okay.
new for sure.
Got it.
And then they also did have regular board games. Like they had just like tables where you could just pick. It was like the board game aisle in like a Six supermarket
Right.
where like you could just pick any board game. All these games I'd never heard of.
That sounds
and,
lit.
and just start playing them. But like it's easy enough to get like one stranger to try to play a board game with you, but like trying to get like 4 people together, I was like, no, like I don't have
Well,
time
you
for
were the hot guy there. You could have just rounded people up. I feel like you could have done it.
that. Yeah, but I also like I didn't care.
Well, now when me and you go, we'll
And
only
and,
need two.
I, and to be honest, I also don't like board games that much. So I don't see that
No,
well.
I don't like board games either. I'd rather do like a video game or something, or one of those
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
those role play games, like you said. No,
Yeah,
board games are not for me.
that's fun. But then, what else? Oh, funny thing. I bought like a dirty anime movie.
Oh, bought like a hentai.
Yeah, and like I found this booth where they just had like boxes and boxes and boxes of DVDs, and it was really more about buying physical media because
That's
that was
lit.
probably one of the only places where you could buy a DVD.
Yeah.
And because I would have bought any other DVD either, but like that was the only ones really were, and I
Were-
can't say I was not limited to
All of
only
them were
pornography.
hentai, basically.
The hentai stand was the only stand that really had DVDs. It seemed.
Oh,
like.
so what have you watched this DVD?
No. What happened was that I bought the DVD. It was like a sick double feature of like this like murder detective movie
Oh,
where I guess like the girl gets
wow.
fucked, and I that night I went out. I met up with a bunch of friends from high school actually, and we had dinner at somebody's house. And I got real drunk, and I actually left the DVD at somebody's house.
Oh man.
I don't know if you know who I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, I
but
know.
He probably,
yeah, I know
yeah,
exactly.
He probably wouldn't recognize like what it is because it wasn't obviously pornographic.
Yeah.
But I imagine him like one day, like real bored, like popping it in, like just to see what it is.
You have to get this DVD back because I want to watch it. I got to see
Oh,
this.
it was great. Like I was actually kind of upset because that's the thing is like I don't want to watch like a 7-minute clip of like some anime girl with a bunch of tentacles, but like if you're gonna give me like a full,
This is a full movie. Yeah. This
where
is
it's
old
just
school.
like, and I think that's like the real epitome of porn that nobody wants to admit is that like you'd love to have like just a good movie where like there is sex
and it's real sex. It's like
Yeah.
a 12-minute scene.
Yeah.
That's like Hot Chicks Big Fangs, one of the best pornos ever made for me. It's a great movie.
No, I've
Guys
never
get
seen
stuck. Guys get stuck on the road. They end up going into the vampire castle on Halloween night, and they all get fucked and killed. Great
it.
movie.
That's great.
It's a great movie. Hot Chicks Big Fangs 2, I think, is okay. I don't remember that one too much. When are you going to get this DVD back?
I mean, next time I go over there, which I did promise to do.
Get it back, watch it, and then send it over here because then me and Crow, not together. Me and Crow not going to watch it together. I'll watch it, and then I'll give it to him, and then he'll give it back. We got to check this out.
I was definitely
That's
going to watch
wild.
it like in my living room, like in my apartment, like openly.
With your roommate just like,
Yeah.
what is this?
No, I was going to tell her like, hey, come check this out.
Hearing the
like,
freaking anime girl porn, like that's how I always associate like anime porn with that
What?
squeaky moan.
Oh, I don't know. I don't. The
like
other question was it going to be in English or in Japanese? And
It
did they
is-
dub over all the sex noises?
Oh God, that's so. Yeah, you got to get this back. We got to check this out.
Yeah, and
So it was-
I couldn't even tell you what the name of it was. I didn't even take a picture of it like I should have.
You
and I
just
thought
knew it
about
was porn.
Yeah,
So this was a W of this was a W. This event was a W. You liked
oh, it was
it.
great.
Good. I'm glad you. But that's it. Convention time is over though. It's usually September, October.
I can't wait for it again. I'm realizing that like if you don't put too much expectations on it, it's
Right.
great.
If you don't go there expecting a bunch of hot hentai girls walking around,
yeah, like,
which
if
a
you
lot
just
of
go
people
there,
probably
like,
did. That's
yeah,
what I thought.
But
I
if
was
you
like,
just
oh,
go there to
anime.
chill out for the day,
Yeah.
Hang out, spend a bunch of money if that's your thing. Like it's great.
Let's go. We out. Hopefully next year I can make it down.
Oh
You
yeah,
and
and even
Crow.
if you don't like anime, I think it'd be cool.
Well, I like that one show now. I like the one.
Oh
thing.
yeah,
Tokyo
the gang
Revengers.
show.
I like that. That was a good show. We talked about it on the podcast already. But yeah,
Oh, cool.
Eddie knocked it out of the park. Tokyo Revengers is my first anime that I actually enjoy that I may finish one day. And of course, I got the Crunchyroll trial, and I ended up paying for like 2 weeks by accident. I knew that was gonna happen.
Yikes.
Yeah, I knew. I think I might be able to finish the show before.
Wait, so you watched it in Japanese?
No, I watched it in English. I would never watch it in Japanese. What the hell?
Oh,
I'm not
Crunchyroll is
reading.
usually all the Japanese.
No,
stuff.
now if you go on Crunchyroll, like say you pick a show and then you pick languages, bro, it's like Dutch, English, Irish, Venezuelan. They got mad languages for some of these shows.
Venezuelan is not a language.
You know what I mean. What do people from Venezuela speak?
Spanish.
What kind? Like,
I guess
because you got
South
like Puerto
American
Rican Spanish,
Latin American Spanish.
you got like, everybody got their like little spin
I
on
guess
it.
you're right. It's Venezuelan Spanish.
Yeah, so they got like their own little spin on the Spanish. So you know what I mean. They got Korean, whatever. They got mad languages. I'm saying I was kind of shocked at that.
Well, they bought the big company that does all the dubs.
So they got all the languages now.
Yeah, it's a big corporate merger.
They got the top of the line company like
Yeah.
Mr. Beast. Is it Mr. Beast? I know he be doing that.
You know, I was actually speaking of Mr. Beast. I was just raging before we got on this.
You don't like Mr. Beast?
I keep getting signed out of YouTube, and I like there was and I didn't realize I was watching YouTube signed out. I fell down like a 30-minute Good Mythical Morning hole.
Yo, Good Mythical Morning. That's how like I always watch it too. I don't watch it every day, but I'll watch it for like a week straight, and then I won't watch it for like a year.
It came up because I was signed out, and I guess it was just like a trending video.
Yeah.
But then like I went to my homepage, and I love the not interested button. That's my favorite button on YouTube.
No. Bow.
Like and I hit it so much that when while I was signed out, I tried to hit not interested on a Mr. Beast video. I was gonna be like, yo, listen, I'm done with Mr. Beast. Don't recommend this channel to me anymore. And then when I went to click on it while I signed out, there was no not interested button. I was like, yo,
Oh.
YouTube, remove my not interested button. Fuck you. I use that shit if I want to.
You got all wound up. When did you realize you were not signed in?
This is about 10 seconds later.
Oh, do you not like Mr. Beast? Is it just it's just him in your face all the time? You just don't like.
Yeah,
seeing
I don't
it.
like anything. I don't like anything where I realize that YouTube is pushing it to me for no reason.
Right.
Like a couple of weeks ago, I think like a new Fortnite thing dropped, and I had like 50
God.
Fortnite videos in my
That's
feed
still a
and I've
thing?
never looked at anything Fortnite.
That's still a thing, huh?
Yeah, so
Good for him.
and that was where I went crazy with the not interest. I had to do like for like 3 days. I had to keep hitting not interested on pretty much the
Oh, yeah.
same video from different channels.
Oh yeah, that's how I love that button. I use that on when I was on Instagram a lot. I used to use that. Not interested. Not interested. Not interested. It's a great button.
But what I realized is if you want to get results on YouTube, you got to say why you're not interested.
Do you? Oh, because
Yeah,
then
like
they can
it-
filter
it'll-
out
'cause-
stuff like that.
Yeah, because it'll ask you another. It'll say undo or tell us why,
Oh,
and then you can either say don't show me this channel again, or I just don't like this video,
Yeah.
or no, it's I don't like this video, or I've already seen this video. Because
Okay.
that's another problem is I watch a lot of YouTube, so like they'll recommend me things that I've watched like 9/10 of the video, and I'm like I got the point.
oh,
I
I
don't
don't think
want
that's
to
ever
finish it.
happened to me. I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
I get that a lot.
I don't remember that. I watch a lot of YouTube though. It's the best. Who watches
Yeah.
TV? You want to hear what
Yeah,
pissed
no.
me off? Speaking of
What?
getting pissed off, this has nothing to do with anything we were talking about prior. This is now total direction change. But
Go
speaking
ahead.
of stuff that pissed you off, I saw on like the local Utica news the other day, okay,
Oh, here we go.
that there were 3 shoplifters from Walmart that got captured because 25 local Uticans made calls about their whereabouts or something like that. And it's like,
25.
what? 25 people with literally zero life, zero things to do, and like a real need for importance in their existence called on a bunch of shoplifters. Like, and you're like, oh, what did these people steal? Televisions? Like, did they just grab a bunch of flat screens and run out with like, you know, a bunch of expensive equipment? Like,
Fucking
they
snitches.
smashed iPhones. Bro, it was like all food. Like, chick had
No, and that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, if I don't know your life, like, unless you're somebody I know, like, there's certain people I know where, like, I've talked to them and been like, yo, bro, like, you're an adult. Like, you don't need to be doing this, like, stop shoplifting. But if I don't know you and I saw you shoplifting from a Walmart, especially if it was food, like, I'd borderline cover for you.
Now, you know,
Like, I'd run a distraction for you.
the food it's not the healthiest. My girl had cupcakes, you know, got a bunch of soda, but who am I to judge?
Yeah,
I ain't
exactly.
judging you, and I definitely ain't calling the damn police on you. My neighbor,
25?
bro, I could hear on the news that like 11,000 iPhones went missing, and I can see like my neighbor pulling in a net, like a big fishing net full of those iPhones. The only thing I would do is like, you got a red one in there? But that's about it. I'm not calling the police.
If I see somebody committing like a crime in public that like isn't really hurting anybody, I'm not going to snitch on you. I will make fun of you to all my friends.
Yeah, it may be talked about, but I'm
Yeah.
definitely like, and if I saw these women, like I saw the picture, there was like 3 or 4 of them just with a shopping cart full of stuff in their hands. If I saw them walking out of Walmart, I would look and go about my day. It literally means nothing to me. I've seen it a million times.
Yeah.
What good does it do me to report them? Literally nothing. Walmart is freaking out because they lost $2 billion
And
in
not only
profit.
did you snitch on the people who are shoplifting, you snitched on the LP guy who's obviously sleeping and supposed to be catching these people.
the people that are supposed to be, the people
Yeah,
who
if,
be on
if,
the
like
money
if
with
I was
this.
a manager and I heard 25 people called the cops and my loss prevention guy didn't do anything,
And,
like he's so fired.
How did they even do that? Like, was it 25 people from the store that all saw them walking out? And they're like, hey, you know, blah, like, what is this, Crime Stoppers? Like, were they on America's Most Wanted that 25 people knew who they were and snitched on their whereabouts over some cupcakes and some Pepsis? I mean, like, if you look at
Well,
this,
you said there was 9 people. I mean, how did this really play out?
it was like 3 or 4 women
But were they together or
Yeah, like
separate?
there was a picture of them like walking like it was the fucking Wizard of Oz, like they were skipping around like the Tin Man and Dorothy, all of them having a great time walking around with their stuff, and they must have just walked out. The article wasn't that descriptive, but all I gathered was they shoplifted very blatantly, and 25 people snitched. And it's
Listen,
like why?
if they tried to walk out and there was like a big scuffle where they were like "fuck you," and like there was maybe like a little bit of a scene, maybe 5 people call the cops. But I don't even understand how 25.
You know what I
people-
would do if that were to happen at Walmart? First of all, I'm from the Bronx, for those that may not know, and Clay's from the city, so we're from the city, okay? That happens, like stuff like that happens every day. On the train, it's madness. So if I saw a bunch of people, I go to Walmart pretty frequently, I would say. If I was at my Walmart and somebody started throwing down with security over some cupcakes, I would grab one of those little popcorns from the little like, oh, I'm going to regret buying this at the self-checkout, open it up, and watch.
Oh yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
doing anything but watching and coming on the show and saying, do y'all know what I just saw happen at Walmart? Maybe
And I'm
I'll
glad you
film
didn't say
it.
pull out your phone, because pulling out your phone is not cool, by the way.
Well, maybe I would film it, but I don't know. I mean, I have to film it for my own pleasure. I
For your
wouldn't.
own pleasure.
Yeah.
Filming things and sharing them.
I'm not throwing it on World Star.
I've grown to not
No,
think
no,
that it's
no.
cool anymore.
But if you're thinking I'm not going to want to relive the actual events, you're bugging. Like one hand, I may have like a piece of beef jerky, and the other hand, I'm filming. If the police say, "Hey, did you let me see," I'm like, "Oh, I deleted it. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. It wasn't me. I ain't showing you none of that. I don't know who it was. I'm visually impaired." Like, huh? What? I don't know nothing. I ain't fucking calling the police over some cupcakes and some Pepsis, or it was like grape juice. Come on.
If I was there, I'd start thinking about what is my opportunity out of this right now.
Oh, like, well, if you're talking about, if it's a big throwdown, it's like, let me go get some headphones. Let me go get some Apple headphones and walk up out of here.
If I was already online with my shit and I saw that go down, like I'd throw like maybe like not enough dollars on the counter and just get out of there.
I mean, throw nothing on the counter, really. Like, I'm not a big proponent of stealing, but opportunity presents itself once in a while.
I don't think anybody should feel bad about stealing from Walmart, really.
They came out with this whole
Unless
thing.
you have the money to pay for it, and then you kind of should feel bad because you're just like gross.
They came out with this whole thing, Walmart, about how they're going to shut down stores. It was like a parent talking to children. Like, we're going to shut down stores if this thievery keeps going on because we lost $2 billion in profit, but they make like $100 billion
and then
a
those
year.
heroes were like, let's get Walmart out of our town and have an economy again. Let's shoplift.
Yeah, let's steal a bunch of
local
cupcakes.
economy.
Let's steal a bunch. And you know what sucks too is what I don't like about the world when a crime like
they're
this.
gonna sell those cupcakes
No.
to
To
just
who?
double profit,
To
like
who?
big sale.
No, they
Bake
weren't gonna.
sale.
No, they weren't gonna. It was like it was such a sick tray too. I think it was cupcakes. But you know what I don't like about the world too? I get a murder, I get like a rape, but to show the face, like to show the mugshot and to show security footage of people doing this on the web is messed up. It's like not a big crime. It's not that big of a deal. Maybe somebody's going through something. So to show people's face that engage in these activities is messed up, in my opinion. Like, when they released the mugshots of these people, I'm not a big fan of that. It's not that big of a crime. And it's nothing that they should be held that accountable for, where their face is plastered all over the internet for the rest of human existence. Just a pet peeve of mine. Just a pet peeve of mine. If you walk up and shoot somebody in the face, like the person that shot Lady Gaga's dog walker, yeah, put him everywhere. Who cares? But
That's crazy. I didn't hear about that. What is that?
this was a long time ago. The guy just got like 27 years for
That's
shooting
crazy.
Lady Gaga's dog walker. And that's the other thing I was kind of odd about. I was like, you get 27 years for attempted murder, but if they actually died, you would have gotten life. That one always kind of perplexes me. It's like if there's actual intent that you meant to kill them, like you shot them over a dog. It wasn't even a discrepancy. You walked up and shot them over a dog. Your intention was to kill them. But since they didn't die, you don't get life. But if they did die, you would get life. You know what I mean? Is that not odd? If you could prove their intention was...
But life is not life. Like like a lot of people will get like 25 to life, where it's like 25 years and then we'll think about it. But if we decide not to, we'll keep you for
especially
life.
because if you're wilding out in there, you're gonna accrue more time anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty much it's life, but you might get off with good behavior.
Okay.
I think is a lot of it.
And it's like maybe you made a mistake. Who knows what was going on? But anyway, yeah, this guy shot Lady Gaga's dog walker. Thank God he survived. But like somebody like that, put his face up. Not, oh, Sydney just got stealing jelly from Kroger. Let's throw her face up online. It's going to be there forever. It's like, really? Is it that big of a freaking deal? So
Yeah.
I love Utica, but y'all wilding up here. What day are you having where you go, nah, these cupcakes is too much. The grape juice, I'm calling the police right now. Like, who are you?
That's people who are, I guess, kind of salty that they do have to pay for these things, and they feel like,
well,
those
if
people
I
are,
gotta
like,
pay,
cheating.
then you gotta pay too.
It's people who don't realize that somebody stealing food is probably in a way different situation than them.
It wasn't like they went into a jewelry store and did a smash and grab at a family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a family jewelry store, and you walk in and steal a bunch of rings. Then it's like, yeah, that's a way different crime than I'm gonna steal some freaking. I'm gonna steal some Hot Pockets.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Now you know
Yeah.
you're retarded.
What are you calling the cops for? Go on about your day. Go watch some hentai. Take your kids to soccer practice. It ain't that big of a deal. We're damn ridiculous.
Cops.
Yeah, but let me tell you this. We're winding down now. But I need to
Take
make-
quiet voice.
I need to make a correction from last week. I said something
What
very
happened?
stupid. I said that I was playing Lawnmower Simulator 2. I don't know where I got that idea. I don't know what fairy, what dumb retarded fairy dropped that in my head. But I'm playing Lawnmower Simulator 1. There is no 2. All right, let me just say that right now. So people that are into that game must have been listening last week and be like, are you in the future or am I in the past? Like, what's going on? How did this happen? How did you get that? I'm playing number 1, okay?
Now you know you're retarded.
Where'd I get that idea? I don't know. But I said also that they advance you too far in that game too quickly. I take that back. What happened was, I messed up
You
my whole...
didn't grind.
No, I did kind of grind, but I messed up.
You gotta slow the pace of the game.
Well, it's kind of odd because they did put me on a pretty big lawn, maybe like 2 lawns in, so it was like my 3rd lawn. But here's what happened. 2 things happened. One, I learned how to play the game better. Like I went online and was like, how do you actually mow a lawn? Because once I learned how people actually mow lawns, exponentially quicker. I was way better at actually mowing the lawn in the game, right?
Oh, by the way, landscaping YouTube is amazing.
Like watching people landscape.
Like when you find like there's good landscapers on YouTube that are just like amazing at what they do, and they just like purposely like go up to people with garbage lawns and like offer to do it like just
Oh,
for
that's
the video.
wild.
Oh, it's so great.
I could see
It's-
that. Like, hey, I'll do
Yeah.
this for free, and I'm gonna make a mill off this vid.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot. That's
Yeah,
dope.
I mean, I think they're asking for like a minor amount of money, but
Right.
it's like nothing. It's
Right.
not what the service would cost.
It's like the guy that shoots the like iguanas from the trees that we were watching in like Florida.
I love Python Cowboy.
Yeah, Python Cowboy. He makes money on the job, a little bit, like, $5 per iguana, but the video money's gonna be bigger.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff to watch like that on YouTube. Very satisfying things. But I learned how to mow the lawn better. I learned how you go around the perimeter and then you kind of close in and then you handle things the way, you handle things after that. But I learned how to mow better. And also, my company was in disarray. I was $8,000 in debt because I took out a bunch of loans that I didn't even need because I was under the false impression that I needed to get a new lawnmower for some reason when I really just needed to get a new attachment. It was mayhem. So I restarted my company. Huey Mows is back online and I'm better now. So I take back the fact that they started you too quickly on a bigger lawn because when I got to that lawn on my next venture, they actually moved it. So I must have done something wrong to get to that lawn quicker because they hit me with that lawn like 3 or 4 lawns in, or 4 or 5 lawns in. I don't know. But I knocked it out lickety split, mad quick. I've been having a lot more fun in that game. and I racked up the hours in Lawnmower Simulator the last 2 days. Like, I have literally been doing. I did work on the podcast. I do that. I did do that for a few hours a day.
I've noticed this. Every time I call you, you're playing Lawnmower Simulator.
Yeah. But then, like after that, I worked all night. But
Yeah,
all
of course.
day, that day, and I don't think I did anything the day before. The day before that, I literally did nothing. I played Lawnmower Simulator all day, all night, and then all day last night, and it's been beautiful. It's been so much fun. It's been very relaxing listening to podcasts, listening to music. It just getting my company up, getting my RP up, taking out ads, gonna start hiring new people. It's been great. It's such a great game. But listen to this. You want to know what else pissed me? I mean, this pissed me off. So I download the new Call of Duty game. I associate good memories with Call of Duty. I associate Call of Duty with Christmas. It comes out. I usually get it around Christmas is what I'm saying. So I got it this year.
And which one is this? This is
This
Modern Warfare?
is Modern Warfare 2. For some reason, they renamed it Modern Warfare 2 again. I don't know why.
It's Modern Warfare 2 too.
It's Modern Warfare 2.2. So I download it. Last year, I got Vanguard, which nobody liked. But I liked it. I thought the story was interesting. I was entertained the whole time. I like how you switch between the characters and you're all in the jail and you play their backstory and then you break out of jail. I liked it. I don't play
Cold
multiplayer.
War for like 5 minutes the other day, and it was pretty good.
That's an old one. I don't think I ever played Cold War. I should probably play that. Modern Warfare 2, we all know is the best.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah, it's great. It's a great game. That's like in Black Ops, I think 1 and 2. But anyway, so I like Vanguard. I get this game. I download all this crap, which in the beginning, now I didn't know you could do this now. When you download a game on Xbox like that, it goes, do you want to download everything or would you just like to download certain aspects of the game? And I was like, lit. I don't even play Warzone, so I'll just download the base game and the campaign.
I was really mad. I was at Tashim's house. I can say his name, right?
Yeah.
And he told me that he had it, and he's like, "Oh, but I only downloaded the multiplayer." I'm like, "Who gives a fuck about the multiplayer?"
Everybody
Like,
else. Literally everybody
else. I want to play the story.
Yeah, that's me. I just play the story. I don't want to play online.
It's a movie where you get to hold the trigger and fire the gun.
Yes. Thank you. We're in agreement on this. We're the only two in the universe. So I downloaded, right? Just the base game and the campaign. I go to the start button, the start menu where it's like click A to start. Click, 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 click. Nothing. I'm pressing A. Nothing. It won't let me start the game. I'm like, what? This has never happened to me before. So then I go, let me uninstall it, install it again with everything. Maybe I made a mistake. So I install it with everything. I try to play it, and then it goes, you need to re-download the campaign in the game now. I'm like, wait, what? So now I have to download the campaign in the game when I already downloaded it to my Xbox. That takes like 2 hours for some reason. So finally, I'll play in the game. And it's like, whatever. It's not really that great. I like Vanguard way more initially. Like, you're on a train, shooting guys in the face. You go to prison. It's lit. This one, it's like, we're after this arms dealer, and now he has like a connection to the USA, so we need to cut that off, get our missiles back, shoot him up, bang, 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 bang. Whatever.
Boring.
So I play that. Yeah, it's like whatever. So I'm at the part where I got to throw knives at guys in the water. I don't really like the water parts, but whatever. I end the game. I come back the next day to play it. Press A to start. Click, 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 click.
Oh.
Again. Now
this is the problem with they want to have 900 Call of Duties. They're not even finished.
I've never experienced this. This is the first Call of Duty or first game I've ever experienced where I can't even get past the start menu. Never seen it.
And nearly every other big game franchise has kind of figured out that the annual model is just not enough anymore.
You have to take a few years off, polish the game up.
And I mean, I think that they realize that because now there's like 3 studios that make Call of Duty games.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, well, I mean, there was always 2. I think there's 3 now.
What is it, like Unreal or something?
No, because it used to be one company, and then they split into, I think it was Activision and Infinity Ward.
Right. Activision.
And then I think there's another one now. Maybe one of those dropped off. I don't know. I don't care. But you know, even then, like they need more time to make
Yeah.
the game, and that's fine.
You're basically making a movie that you can play, which is more complex.
And if you want to have new multiplayers every year, that's fine.
Which is what most people play for anyway.
But then do the GTA thing where you release one game 10 years ago and then just keep adding to the multiplayer.
Right. And then
You
a
know?
story like every 3 years. And make it a banger. Make it crazy.
Yeah, make it good.
Make it wild. So now I re-downloaded it again, which I'm going to call to get my money back anyway. But I'm going to see if I can play it tonight.
I don't even think you have to call. I think you can just return games on Xbox.
Can you?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh,
there's a process. Google it. But whatever. We'll talk about
Okay.
that later. But yeah,
So,
you
yeah.
just return the game.
I got to see what's
same with
up.
Steam.
Because I'm going to see if I can play it again tonight to see if it lets me do it. But I've never experienced this before. It's dumb. I don't know how this happened. You should be way more advanced by now. Ridiculous. And the game wasn't even that fun. Like, it was like, whatever. It's probably the weakest call. Like, it just didn't, it was whatever. It wasn't that engaging from the beginning. Maybe I had an off day. Some days I watch a movie and I'm like, I don't like this. And then I watch it back like a week later and I'm like, what was I thinking? This movie's amazing. That happened to me with Nocturne. I don't know if you're a horror fan, go on Amazon, watch Nocturne. I thought it was great. When I watched it the first time, I said, this is ass. I didn't like it.
You know what happened to me today? This reminded me because you're talking about Lawnmower Simulator. I was shopping for Christmas presents. I wanted to get something for Keith. I was in Micro Center, which I think I told you a minute ago was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And they had a whole aisle where it was just like they had a whole aisle that was just steering wheel controllers, like pedal controllers.
Yes.
And then they had flight simulator controllers.
Oh man, Keith would love that.
Yeah. And the thing was, right, is that I remember back in the day, Ace Combat put out like a little joystick type controller that you'd hold between your legs. And he loved that, right? And they had plenty of those. But then I saw they had legit ones where it's a legit steering wheel and it has switches on it and shit. And then there's like throttles over here.
Oh.
And like it really mimics like they had different ones that like actually mimic real planes. Like they had one for an Airbus, one for a Boeing, and they had a generic one that was for Xbox, and they were pretty reasonably priced. Like,
but it's like, what game do you play that with though? You got to find the corresponding game.
Microsoft has always had Flight Simulator.
Yeah, they have Flight Simulator and Truck Simulator.
Yeah, and Flight Simulator has been around for a long time because like the Flight Simulator that you play on like a computer is like the real flight sim. Like that's what pilots really use, I think.
Okay, to practice.
Yeah. Like it's actually a really legit program.
Okay.
It's not really that much of a video game. It's like a actual simulator.
Okay.
I think that might be the
so you can use that
genre.
You can use those wheels on that, the controllers.
Yeah. But I went to look and like only some of them were like Xbox approved, and Keith doesn't have a gaming computer, so I couldn't get him one for a gaming computer.
Yeah.
The ones that were for a computer were like $150. The Xbox certified like wheel with the panels and everything was $400 fucking dollars.
Wow.
Plus you got to buy the game. And like, it's not even a fun game. Like I couldn't even imagine buying that for Keith. And he's like, yeah, I'm flying from New York to Denver. This is going to be sick.
No, he's going to want to be like, all right, we're going to go up there and we're going to shoot a bunch of guys. We're going to blow people up.
To play like Ace Combat and stuff like that, but I can't like playing Ace Combat with all
he's
the
not
real
going to want to
controls
just
be pretty hard.
He's not going to want to charter people. He's going to want to do spins like he's going to want to really go crazy. He's going to want to hit the G. What is it? The G spot? What is that called again?
G spot. No, the G forces.
G force. Yeah. You go. Yeah. You go all the way down. If you have never seen a video of people doing G-force, you should watch it. It's pretty wild. I would never want to do it. I'd rather just shoot myself in the face. Really, it's very scary.
I think he's done that in real life.
I think so too. He was telling me he was either gonna do it or he had done it. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
He's into all that shit.
$400 for that?
It was $379.
Did they sell the game with it?
No.
Did they even tell you what game goes with it?
Some of them. Yeah, they do. They have like a little picture of Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think you could use it with like the Xbox one. I think you can use it with any of the like. There's a lot of flight Xbox games. You know, there's Ace Combat. There's I don't know what the other ones are. It's not important. But yeah, like it doesn't even and it didn't even come with a month of Xbox Game Pass. Like,
Oh,
it
come
did, like,
on. You could
there
throw me
was
a
other ones,
bone.
I wound up getting him a Ferrari steering wheel that you can play video games
This
with.
year?
Yeah, I
Okay.
just got it.
Okay.
And that one at least comes with Xbox Game Pass, and that was only $100.
Yeah, like literally everything comes with Game Pass. Like,
it came
anything
with
you
Game Pass,
buy-
and it was only $100.
If you're like, oh, I
So,
just
like-
want to buy this little like Xbox keychain. Oh, here's like a year of Game Pass. They give it to you.
And the different and the non Xbox controller, like the non Xbox version of that, was $150.
Wow.
It was slightly less nice, but like $50 less nice, not $250 less.
Yeah. So you got him a steering wheel though.
Yeah, I got him a steering wheel controller because I wanted to get him like a keyboard.
Now this is
But-
when you went to get your podcast equipment.
Well, no. I was shopping for presents. I was just
Yeah.
also getting. I got a webcam actually at PC Richard down the
The
street.
webcam looks good.
No, yeah, I like it.
How much was the
I-
webcam?
It was $50.
It looks good.
And it was like the only webcam they had in the store. And then I went to Micro Center and I was like, hey, can you undercut PC Richard and I'll go return this? But they could only do like $10 better, so I just kept it.
Okay, yeah, it's not worth the time to do that.
Yeah, like if they were to give me like $25, I would have definitely went back and be like, give me my $25.
I think your
back.
camera looks better than mine. I don't know how you feel, but I think your camera looks better than mine. It looks good.
I think there's no focus to it.
To yours,
Like, even though it does look good, it's no focus.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Like I feel like my face is just as in focus as the back wall.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah. But so is mine. I think.
Yeah, I guess.
So is mine. But you,
I want to be able to like do this and like show off shit from my shopping haul.
you will. It just won't be blurry in the background.
Oh,
You could show off anything.
I like that portrait mode effect.
Yeah, you could show off whatever you want. Pause. You can show off whatever you want. Today's your first day as an official podcaster. You got the mic, you got the dome phones, you got the webcam. How does it feel to now be inducted into the podcasting world for real? Now you're not on those AirPods.
It's way more immersive. Like sitting down and talking to you like this is like really the closest thing to really being in the same room. Like I call you on FaceTime all the time, but this is definitely
Yeah.
way different.
And I'm walking around, peeing, eating. It's not the same as sitting down
Yeah.
like this. So you enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hit you off with the Blue Yeti as a surprise.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well, no, thank you, because really, you're coming on a show with that. You sound
Yeah.
great. You have a great podcasting voice. Because the last show you were on, it was like I was editing it, like, oh my god, Clay sounds like shit. But
That's
you know,
wild. That
you
sucks.
bring the vibe, but you sounded like crap. Now you got it all. Do you feel like Joe Rogan?
No.
No, you're not
I
at all.
don't. I'm not muscular enough.
You're not bald. You're not muscular. We're not smoking cigars. The new
Yeah.
cardinal sin, in my opinion, of a podcast. I mean, I definitely will smoke a cigar here once in a while. Maybe like once. Maybe I'll give myself once a season. I could do it.
I was gonna be a real cool guy and like start breaking up weed for that I was gonna smoke after this, but then I just thought about like how terrible that would sound on the mic.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it could be ASMR, like weed ASMR. Do you want to do ASMR? Not right now.
No,
I was thinking about us getting into
I've
it.
thought of like doing like stupid, obscure types of ASMR, but like no, also no.
You wouldn't even want to try it. Like you wouldn't want to do it for the show. I was thinking about us getting into ASMR just to do it.
I would ASMR my tortoise.
Oh, you're
Like I would put him
yeah.
right up next to the microphone and be like, "Hey."
Can you do that?
Yeah, I can do it right now.
Do it. Let's see. Clay got a turtle. Let's see if we can ASMR. Let's interview the turtle. See if we can interview. I forgot what the turtle's name is. I've never heard of turtle. I've seen a video like this where they put the animal by the tiny mic. I've seen that, and it wasn't as great as I thought it would be.
Oh no, but the tiny mic is different.
Is a turtle gonna make any noise? What's the turtle's name again? Jackson?
Gamera.
Gamera. Yeah, not even close.
All
What
right,
is
so
it,
I
like
think
an
I need to
anime?
change the pickup
Uh-oh.
channel.
About to
That
mess
probably
with the
sounded
mic
terrible.
settings now. It didn't sound too bad. About to mess with those mic settings now. Hope everybody's Christmas was amazing because it is now after Christmas as you're hearing this, but right now it is Christmas Eve, one of the most wonderful times of year. I hope you had a great time. Hope you drank some eggnog. Hope you didn't get into a massive argument or brawl with your family. And if you did, send us the video. All right. We're going to hear the turtle. I'm not hearing anything right now.
This is your time to shine.
Come on. Don't freeze up now. Come on. Don't be like Eminem in the beginning of 8 Mile.
I also have like the most like friendly, like not afraid of anything turtle, and he's being such a punk right now.
But is your mic set to the ASMR like setting? What you would set it to?
I put it to omnidirectional. I could put it to bidirectional, which I think is what they do.
Oh.
But this has all the pickups on.
And that's what you would do for ASMR. Maybe you got to put your gain way. I think you
I
got to
don't
put your gain way up. That's what you got to do. Put the gain all the way up.
No, all the way up is going to be too much, but let's put it up a little bit. But
come on, turtle. Dow.
This is great radio, by the way.
He ain't saying nothing. He ain't saying nothing. Well, that was a fail. It's fail. That's it. It's Clay's first show. Did great. Well, not your first show, but your first like long show.
My first like non-guest appearance.
Yeah. You're in. So that's it.
This is great. I was surprised that it's just us this time. What is the format here?
There is no format.
How do you make decisions?
I make decisions. This is how I make decisions. I wake up and I listen to my brain. I go, that sounds good. Like I literally don't sit. If this makes any sense, my creative process is like, I feel like I just get ideas, and I just decipher from there. I don't like sit down and go, what would be good for this show, or like who would be good. It just like comes to me as time goes on. And
by the way, all the shit I've been talking about, how nobody cares about spicy food, like I am wrong.
You are so wrong. I was thinking about that while I was coming home the other day. I was like, Clay is so wrong.
I just watched a half hour of Rhett and Link trying every flavor of Flaming Hot chips.
Yeah.
And like, I was just such a mark for it. Like, as soon as I saw it, I clicked on it.
When you told me that, I was like, I'm not even going to get into this conversation, but he's so wrong. Like, that spicy never dies. Like, Hot Ones is such a huge show. Like, every year there's the one chip challenge. Spicy will never die. Like,
I thought the spicy was dead because it was dead for me.
No, spicy doesn't die. Food, like mukbangs, they don't die. That's where it's at.
I think the internet might be circular like that. Like, even if you're off of it, there's still a cycle going on, even if you're not wrapped up in it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's how life is. Like, just because we're sitting here right now not doing a certain thing doesn't mean it's like, just because we're not doing heroin right now doesn't mean that people aren't doing heroin probably like 2 floors down.
Speaking of cycles that people are in of and out of, now that I'm in the podcasting cycle, this is the end.
What do you mean?
Me getting into being on a podcast in 2022 definitely means it's the beginning of the end. I can feel it.
End of your life?
The beginning of like, if I'm in it, it's so dead.
Oh, well, I mean, it's not like you, by the way, put your mic back to whatever setting you were on. It's not like you were like, oh, I'm going to start a podcast. I just said, come on our show.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You're right.
Yeah, now you sound way better. It's not like this is not like the Clay Jones. I mean, are you feeling
listen, when the Clay Jones show comes out, it's actually going to be like the last.
Are you feeling the compulsion to do so?
Absolutely not. I actually don't like being the front man.
Right.
I don't.
You don't like being front and center. You don't like having the spotlight on you.
I can handle like a little bit of it, but even like what we just talked about right now, like I just talked about a whole bunch of embarrassing shit and I'm like, oh God, like I can't even believe I said half of this.
Yeah, well, that's me like every show, especially the ones where I talk about embarrassing things that I do like every week, you know, especially
I've been thinking about it. I have a lot of like wild shit that I could say, but there's also like a few things that I thought about. I'm like, no, like I can't say that ever.
No, that's what podcast is about. You're not. I mean, honestly, the greatest podcaster is the one that goes, I don't care about any of that. I'll say whatever. But I think normal people go, they compartmentalize. And they go, this could go. This is kind of fishy, but I could do it. And then it's like, this would never go on. Especially because a lot of other people.
I can think of one or two that like would really probably like make people's jaw drop. but like I can't.
I can think of
can't-
one that I definitely always love thinking about, but I don't want to bring it up because you're gonna make me edit it out. But there's one story that I just love to think about all the time.
Wait, give me a hint because maybe it's actually funny. And
With
I
the
don't care.
park bench.
The park bench. Oh, when I knock myself out. That's fine to talk about. That's hilarious. Yeah.
We'll talk about it then.
Okay, so this was when Assassin's Creed was really big. That's really like how this started. Was I thought that I was Ezio, whatever his name was, and
Spagoli.
I was working at like a public park and I had to walk. I was on my way home. I had to walk to like the gas station to get quarters for the bus, and I'm walking back to the bus stop and I jump on a park bench as I'm walking down the street. There's like a park bench along the sidewalk. And I jump on top of it and I'm walking not on the seat of the park bench, but like on the back part, which is only about an inch wide. And I just woke up on the ground. And like I was also like this is like iPod days. So like my iPod was no longer on like even the same album. Like I don't know how long I was out, but it was a whole new song now. And I just woke up on the ground, like people are stepping over me.
Well, I'm gonna bleep this out if you want me to bleep it out. Okay.
Okay.
So I won't cut this part what I'm about to say out. But I remember another story, or maybe I'm confusing the stories, where it was you were sipping on NyQuil and that happened, and you knocked yourself out.
No, I don't know if that ever happened.
There was a story where you were sipping on NyQuil, I think, and maybe I'm confusing the two.
Okay, no. There was one time, this is back when we were in camp, where I think I got drunk and I headbutted somebody, but like the reverberation like hit me way harder and like I was actually the one who got completely rocked. That happened.
I don't remember that. Do I have to cut out anything that I just said?
I guess not, because it didn't happen.
Okay, but the cough syrup thing, you let that slide.
Yeah. I
Okay.
will not deny that I've like drank cough syrup.
Okay, and it wasn't even like you weren't even on like anything cool. Like you were on NyQuil. You were just walking.
Yeah.
That was kind of what I was gonna get to earlier. Was just you. I remember one of my biggest memories of you from high school was you
Just being
sipping
a
from
cough syrup
NyQuil out of a bag. Not that it was you dumped it in the bag, but you had it in the brown bag, I think, with the straw, and you would just sip NyQuil.
Yeah. I don't think I used a straw, but yeah, pretty much.
And then correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember was there a turning point where I don't remember this, but you told me that I sent you a letter, and you.
Oh yeah. So when we were in high school, and I don't know how you don't remember this, I got a letter from Greasy Spoon. And Greasy Spoon let me know that I had been wilding out, and that it was probably time that I thought about what I was doing and cleaned up a little bit. And
You were out of control.
Yeah, and I was like, well, man, Greasy Spoon cares about me. I don't know if I actually did. I think I definitely cleaned up my act probably like a year or two later.
I think you did. You told me it was a catalyst for you doing something like that, for you cleaning it up. But I don't remember sending you that letter under the moniker Greasy Spoon, which was my porn name at the time. I did
That's
not shoot porn.
hilarious.
But if I did shoot porn, that would be my name at the time.
Yeah.
I do not remember putting that letter on you said it was on your locker. It was
I don't
like,
remember
hey,
where
you're
it was or
wilding
how you
out.
got it to me, but it was not unclear that it was from you. You also have very distinctive handwriting.
Yeah, sloppy.
Yeah.
Not
so
as
it could've
sloppy
been
as some
that
others.
also.
I thought I typed it.
No. It was like I think it was a handwritten letter.
Okay. Wow. A lot of care.
Yeah. No,
Like,
definitely,
yo.
because I don't think I had trouble reading it. I just knew it was you.
Like you're bugging this cough syrup. I think that was what got me. It was like, yo, this man is really out here like sipping cough syrup right now, and not
Well,
even.
I mean that's the thing, and I think that's like maybe there's like a slightly more serious conversation to be had about that. But yeah, like it was just like it was harder to get other drugs, and like I was just like, yeah, like you could just get cough syrup. Like
It wasn't even like cool. You weren't on lean.
and I heard somebody say this the other day. It's definitely not my idea, but like being a child is like being in jail. Like you do all sorts of like crazy things and like get so creative to do what you want to do because
Right.
you're not an adult yet.
Right. And then at
You
least
know.
in my mind, like when I become an adult, I'm like, why was I even rushing to do that? It was kind of like whatever.
Yeah, I mean, now
like-
the only time I do that is like if I get sick, I'll totally drink way too much cough syrup.
That's fine. That's acceptable.
Yeah, that's fine. But even I realize I don't even like doing that. Like,
Yeah.
You know, once you get older, you're like, who cares about that?
Yeah. So hope everybody's Christmas was amazing.
Merry Christmas.
You have anything else to say before we get out of here, Kalani?
Not really. I don't want to embarrass myself any further.
You're not.
But
Trust me.
we can continue thinking of ways to do that.
You have not embarrassed yourself at all on the show. You've brought a great presence. You brought great stories. Trust me, if you embarrass yourself, I would tell you. I would know what embarrassing yourself on a podcast.
I'm glad that we get to censor this like in real time.
I would know what embarrassing yourself on a podcast feels like. Trust me. So if you're not watching this on the YouTube channel, make sure you go to youtube.com/GKBPOD. We're on Spotify, Apple. Go to the Gritty Knows Best Instagram. See you later. Peace and love. See you
Bye-bye.
later.